Sitting in the passenger seat of Isaac's luxury sedan, Lynn pressed her face against the window. Silhouettes of cottonwood and cypress trees rushed past. In the distant shadows, a rabbit dashed as a copperhead struck. A thorny leaf fluttered from the rabbit's sudden departure. Its thudding heart close to bringing on deadly shock. Exhaling, Lynn observed it all. Senses heightened, mind sharpened, and body vibrant. An awakening consumed her. It felt like Mother Nature, draped in exotic fig leaves and morning dew, had touched her soul, enchanting her with the spirit of a forest nymph. In all her 31 years, she'd lived sightless, soundless. But now the depths of the world flowed in torrents she'd never thought possible. Even the soft touch of cool moonlight tickled every inch of her skin. An urge to chase prey into the woods clutched her. Fingers gripped the door handle. A savage impulse, but one born of natural instincts. She glanced at Isaac. His short black hair was slicked back, the complexion of a rugged outdoorsman, and a face carved from raw beauty. Smoky colored brows arched over his dark copper eyes. She traced her fingers down his sports jacket, feeling the well-toned biceps. His muscles twitched. Isaac turned the vehicle down her street. Her heart raced with warning. Since the moment she met Isaac, not once had she thought of her children or husband. Guilt, though mild, overcame her. Heat warmed her face. She palmed her cheeks, trying to cool her skin. They pulled into her driveway. Lynn sucked in a hard breath. Isaac exited the car. He removed his shirt, shoes, and slacks, placing them on the hood. Lynn glanced at her modest ranch home. The porch light offered dim illumination for her aged deck. Parked on the right side of the house, the front end of Joe's Harley glared at her like a chained guard dog, snarling with suspicion. She tugged at the door handle. It didn't budge. Nude, Isaac stalked toward her front door. The jewel embedded in his chest flashed like an angry beacon. Lynn glanced to the neighbors' houses and cringed. It was dusk, but not quite dark. If they glanced out their window, they'd see Isaac in all his glory and the brightly glowing stone. Her lips stretched into a grin. Peering down her blouse, she palmed her own chest, wondering why she didn't possess a radiant gem anywhere on her body. The porch creaked beneath Isaac's feet. The front door was flung open, and Joe's bare torso blocked the threshold. Weren't her children in the house? How many did she have? 2? 2 human children. She tried the door again. Fear, confusion, and anxiety raced through her. Gripping the handle tightly, she yanked. It snapped off.
What the fuck is this?
Joe looked up and down Isaac's naked body and scratched his bandana-covered scalp. He craned his neck to peer around Isaac.
Lynn is mine.
A 3-foot-tall boy child hovered near the waist of his stout father.
Daddy?
Not now. Go watch TV. Daddy's got to take care of something.
Tears pooled in Lynn's eyes as she watched the boy disappear into the house.
No.
She kicked at the windows.
No. Let me out. No, don't.
Black fur suffused Isaac,
Please don't. Please.
his body contorting into a regal
Let me
panther.
out.
Wings sprung from his shoulders and folded against his backbone. Pride blossomed in her core. Isaac, her twin, her mate, magnificent in his honest form.
Holy Mary shit.
She pressed her face closer to the windshield, entranced by Isaac's new form crowding the porch. The incredible beast resembled only something she'd seen in drawings, something mythical. A furious minotaur? Isaac plowed through the locked door. Lynn's supernatural hearing punished her. She covered her ears. The crunch of bones. Lynn stamped her feet, rocking back and forth. Make it stop. Salty tears streamed down her cheeks. Her body shook. I don't want to be a monster. A blinding green light flooded the car. She glanced down at the lush greenery beneath her feet. Fruit-bearing trees and vibrant blossoms sprouted all around her. She stood in a garden of beauty surrounded by plants and trees she could not identify. The greenery and buds shimmered with an unearthly beauty. Mighty trees stretched to a lavender twilighted sky. A congregation of stars twinkled against the purple heaven. Moisture purified the earthen soil. From the forest canopy, songbirds sang sweet hymns and a summer breeze curled around her, carrying the comfort of frankincense and myrrh. Lynn walked along a path that led deep into the Eden-esque grove. She came to a clearing, a perfect circle etched in the untouched garden. A black kitten played with a fallen leaf, its eyes large and watery. Lynn scooped the animal into her arms, and it purred with the ferocity of a tigress, drowning out the songbirds. The kitten pressed its soft fur against her chest, and for a still moment, she felt safe. She whirled and saw a black panther dash through the clearing. The lush foliage wilted and fell to ash on barren dirt. The ground imploded, sinking into the center of the opening where she stood, until nothing remained but the stars and the charred sky. Lynn gritted her teeth before snapping its neck. She fell through the sinkhole. The car's passenger door flew open, and Lynn tumbled out. Atticus stood in the center of the room that Rorn and he had shared for almost 2 decades. Rorn's bureau had been emptied. His robes and garbs that once hung in the closet gone. One of his sheathed longswords rested peacefully on top of the bureau, waiting obediently for its master's return. Atticus held up the silver selector longsword gifted to him by Elder Kai. The sword had been hand-forged by the grand smithy of the Templar court the day of his birth. Though it possessed no arcane powers, it had been specifically crafted for the battles surely to face a twin warrior. According to some antiquated lore, a warrior was to name the sword he intended to carry into battle. Then he was to prick his finger with the tip, so the named blade would know its master's blood and never accidentally harm him. But Atticus neither possessed the imagination nor concern for folkloric nonsense. 2 swords had been crafted on that day long ago, but only one would ever be wielded. Rorn's counterpart was doomed, like its master, to remain somewhere deep within a vault. He placed his unnamed sword on his dresser and crawled into the bottom bunk. Rorn always took the top. He said he liked being closer to the sky than to the ground. There is more knowledge and faith in the stars above than in the earth below our feet. But it had been a long day, and though Atticus couldn't stop thinking about his lost blood brother, the inauguration, Elder Kai, and the time of reckoning, he soon drifted into a restless sleep. Somewhere in an unknown desert, he found himself bound to a tall wooden stake. A nightmare of a beast that towered above mountain shadows burned him at the stake. Screaming locust! He jolted awake.
It is time.
Bathed in light from a kerosene lantern hung on the end of his hornbeam staff, Elder Kai stood beside the bed.
You must depart for Texas immediately.
Atticus knuckled sleep from his eyes.
There has been a murder. It would appear the Geminis is behind the massacre. Come with me now, Selector. We make haste to the Nightwood Coliseum.
Atticus threw some common clothes in a duffel bag. He paused before grabbing the silver selector longsword and fastening the scabbard to his belt. He tucked Rorn's journal into a deep inner pocket of his cloak before staring out the open window. If he'd known he was going to depart so soon, he'd have gone to Venora and said his farewell, and he would also deeply regret missing Rorn's funeral. From his robe pocket, Elder Kai pulled a chained pendant. The glorious seal was carved into the pendant's pearl. He draped it around Atticus's neck.
I have enchanted it with arcane magic. To aid in your mission, use it sparingly. Use it wisely.
Atticus nodded.
Come, boy. We've no time to spare.
Rumors fly as to the safety of teleporting.
It is as safe as any magic.
Will it get me to Texas in one piece? Elder Kai tilted his head.
Either that, or you could land in the Arctic Circle. But we are praying for Buckeye.
Such comforting words.
You'll be fine, boy. But you did pack winter clothes just in case, didn't you?
Elder Kai gave a playful wink. Atticus and Elder Kai strolled through the bronze-arched tunnel and into the Nightwood Coliseum. The electric automobile waited in the open area. The most exalted warriors from times past and other cadets who'd been stirred from sleep gathered in the bleachers to see Atticus's grand departure. They came to offer their support in the most honorable fashion. 2 raised platforms hosted 8 men, 4 on either side. Adorned in elegant green mantles and silver ceremonial helmets that masked their aged faces, the High Templars of the Templar Court all held the posture of statues. Prefect Caldric, in his own large ceremonial garb, hands clasped behind his back, said,
"The court,"
he eyed Elder Kai,
"pledges its support of the Lone Twin."
Elder Kai coughed into his fist. He threw a mock smile at Prefect Caldric.
"And you support the court, do you not?"
Prefect Caldric ignored Elder Kai. Atticus bowed. "I accept my duty with honor, Prefect."
"Please take your position inside the vehicle."
Atticus stepped toward the driver's door. He hesitated before turning. "I wish to speak with the High Templars." He knelt on one knee before Elder Kai and the Prefect. "This burden weighs on me. I am the grasshopper beneath the cobblestone from the fables." Elder Kai waved his hand.
"Go then and speak with the Templars, but do not linger." "The Lone Twin is not ready. We cannot send him on this assignment, for it was meant for twin warriors to reckon the beast. Do not second-guess my pupil any longer, for I know this is Atticus's destiny, and so knew Rorn. Foolish insolence."
Atticus strode toward the platform on the left. The 4 sagacious warrior priests stood 6 feet above. He craned his neck to view their masked faces. They remained solid as stone. "I ask of you, the High Templars of the court, am I ready for the reckoning? Alone you shall stand." Atticus gave a curt nod and approached the 4 warriors on the other side. "I ask of you, the High Templars of the court, am I ready for the reckoning? Together we shall fall." These elder warriors will not give me their truths, only more ceremonial proverbs. He marched back to the car.
"Do not let the pressures of politics cloud your faith,"
Elder Kai said to the Prefect.
"You're a fool, Kai. Nothing but a drunken poet."
"He is no fool. He is my mentor and my friend, and my only father. Rorn is dead, and now I must carry on without him, and I will do so with or without your blessing." Prefect Caldric gawked at Atticus, then at Elder Kai. He shook his head.
"We have the utmost faith in you, Selector Atticus."
"I must go now. Caldric nodded, straining a smile. He neared Atticus and handed him a blossoming white rose.
Then as the prefect, I bless you. Under the rites of the Order of Abel, I bestow the rose of validation, Selector Atticus. And shall the rose wither, so shall your triumph. But shall the rose remain vibrant, then so shall your virtues.
Atticus placed the stem between his teeth, as custom dictated, and slid behind the wheel. The sweet scent of the flower filled the car's small interior. The ritual claimed that if it did not wilt after he went through the portal, he beheld the inner strength of a true warrior, able to channel his life force even to a delicate rose. But if the flower wilted? Through the windshield, he watched the High Templars rotate their hands while reciting incantations. At the far end of the Colosseum, a small white star appeared and expanded. The swirling portal continued inflating, concealing the far walls of the arena. Elder Kai stood beside the driver's side. The portal spiraled with a multitude of colors, a swirling kaleidoscopic wheel. Elder Kai gave him a comforting smile, tipped his flask, and gulped.
Go!
Like a pebble from his slingshot while horny toad popping, the car hurled toward the massive star that shined ahead of him. The speedometer climbed. 55. His teeth clenched tighter around the rose. 65. The rose would show him the truth. 70. The portal's energy was so bright he could no longer see the Colosseum. 81. Atticus snapped his head to the right and spat the rose. 86. A sea of whiteness and beams of electric blue engulfed him. The light faded, replaced by darkness. Headlights beamed in the distance like the eyes of a charging automatic worm. Atticus gripped the steering wheel while releasing the gas pedal. He exhaled a lungful of air he hadn't realized he'd been holding. This is quite different than training in the desert. Atticus glanced to the digital screen above the radio and waited for the GPS to upload his location. A flashing blue circle appeared, indicating he was just outside of Houston, Texas. Thank the angels above I am not on a glacier. Gripping the steering wheel at 10 and 2, he sighed. But I have to get the Lotus off this highway. A billboard advertised Dr. Pepper, poisonous serum for the masses, he recalled from his contemporary studies. The phone, clipped to the visor above him, rang.
Are you in Texas?
Yes, sir.
Then it worked. And what of the rose, Atticus?
He glimpsed the dead flower in the passenger seat. Petals dry and stem broken. The sweet scent no longer pleasant. It remains vibrant. White as your beard, Elder.
Splendid. I knew it would be.
I am overwhelmed at your confidence in me.
Waste no time with pleasantries, Selector. Onward to the murder scene, and report back with your findings.
Yes, Elder. Atticus hung up and reached under the seat. He retrieved a paper folder full of topographical maps and data he'd need for his mission. He retrieved Ron's journal from his pocket and laid it on the passenger seat next to the dead Rose, then shifted to drive and swerved onto the interstate. Headlights flooded the dark highway ahead. I guess you'll still be accompanying me. We will defeat the Geminis together, my brother.
You're listening to The Eagle, Houston's only classic rock station.